What's up, lords and ladies? Welcome back to another video on this channel. So you probably clicked on this video because of the title or because of the thumbnail. Basically how YouTube works, Lord of Lion. Oh my god. But basically, in today's video, I really wanted to just talk about my experience on Kijiji. Now, if you guys don't know what Kijiji is basically the Craigslist of Canada. Even though we do have Craigslist, I find that more people use Kijiji. It's just an app that you could sell used things and you could also buy used things. Now, although I normally go on there, not too often, sometimes when I do put things up there for sale, I usually have a great experience where the buyer is happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy, everything goes right. But sometimes things go wrong, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about a situation in which the guy basically threatened my life. He threatened to beat me up. He told me that I was a POS. I'll get into the whole entire conversation in a bit. Okay, so basically what happened was that I had a Reptile tank or enclosure up for sale. It's a pretty big, decent size, in which brand new I purchased it for $250. Now, I've used it for a couple of years, maybe 3, maybe 4 years, and I decided to put it up for sale as a used tank, obviously. And because of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put it up for sale for $100. I figured it was a reasonable price, as I paid $250. The tank and enclosure is still in mint condition, and $100 is a fair price, I figured. Now, although I had so many different offers, I did have an offer by this guy. So what he wrote, he was like, $50 question mark. And I was like, wait, hold on, $50? Like, I paid $250, I put it up for $100. I think it's a fair price. Now, don't get me wrong, I love giving deals and I love also receiving deals and just the whole thing. But $50 is a bit too low is what I figured, especially when the asking price is $100. So I replied saying, the price is $100. Just left it at that. Then he replied saying, no, I said 50 or else. And I'm like, what? Or else what? Like, what is going on here? Why am I getting threatened? Right? And then, so I replied, or else what? Then he replies, or else you are a POS. And that's where I was like, not the POS word. Anything but the POS word. This guy obviously is probably like 13 years old that can't say swear words or something, but he basically called me a piece of
shawarma.
And I was like, I'm heartbroken. Like, I'm just trying to sell a tank. Why am I being called names and threatened and insulted like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's the thing, like, sometimes you run across lowballers like this that feel entitled to basically, say whatever they feel because they're behind their keyboards. They can say whatever they want. No one has ever called me a POS to my face. Like, no one has physically gone to my face and been like, hey man, you know what? I think you were a POS. Like, no one ever in my life. And I've been alive for quite a bit now. But I figured I would just go along with it because I was like, you know what? Like, who does this guy think he is? Like, what is this? So this is where I did a little bit of that turnaround thing and kind of played along his game. And so I decided I would go on Google and I will search for basically the address of a waste company. So basically I went on Google and I searched for a waste company in which deals with sewers and poop and all the things that the house is, basically the sewer, and that's where they go and manage it and everything. And I figured, you know what, I'm gonna send him to this location. So this is where things got a little bit interesting. So I was like, okay, fine, let's meet. I want to move this tank quick. We can meet at this address. What time works best for you? Now, mind you, this address was basically the waste management company place or disposal in which waste, house waste, human waste basically passes through and they manage it. So I figured I'm gonna have him go there. Where he replied, he was like, I'll be there in half an hour, sounds good. And I said, okay. This is where things got weird. He was like, bring your chin guards ready. I'm like, are we going to box or like what's happening here? Like, nowhere in the conversation was I aggressive, was I, you know, threatening him, saying things back to him, and he called me a POS word. He called me the POS, the actual POS, not just like the regular one. He said, you are a POS. But like, nowhere in this conversation did I, you know, show any signs of aggression. Yeah, I was a little bit insulted at the beginning and I was a little bit firm, but nowhere in the conversation did I start calling him names or saying anything to him. So I don't see where that came from of bring your shin guards ready. I'm like, this guy's gonna try to like do something like, if you know, when I show up, I better do something real quick. And you know, a couple minutes passed by. I would say maybe about half an hour to 40 minutes passed by, and then he replies saying that he was here, and that's where I was like, okay, this is perfect. So I ended up replying saying, good. Now go inside and tell everyone you're like a new home, you POS. And then he replies, haha, good one, you low life. Like, like, what is this? Like, honestly, some people honestly feel like they could go around this world just insulting people and no one's ever gonna check them or say anything in return, right? In this case, of course, I could have just let it be and drop it. But honestly, I'm getting a little bit fed up by all these negative comments and me not being able to defend myself or say anything. If you're gonna, you know, insult me with an offer like that, I'm gonna, you know, get you to go somewhere and just waste your time, because you're wasting my time by giving me an offer like that. But honestly, at the end of the day, if you are going to be purchasing something, you know, obviously you could ask, you know, the seller for a deal, but at the end of the day, we're working hard for these animals. We're working hard for the stuff that we have. So even if I produced it and it was free for me, you know, the price might be something that you might not agree on, but it's the price that I'm giving it because of my hard work and the time and the demand that comes behind, you know, the animals that I might be selling, or sometimes the things that I have as well. So it's not me trying to be greedy, it's just basically the price. I have no problem, you know, keeping the stuff that I produce. So at the end of the day, you know, if you want it, that's the price, and you could go shop around and see that that's basically the price for most of the things that are basically listed for animals. I know some people get upset when they see an animal or something for sale that they want that's a little bit too pricey, but at the end of the day, how do you think I got it? You know, I needed to put in time, put in work, put in dedication to even produce the animal. So, you know, if the price is there, we could work on a price and it's negotiable. But at the end of the day, don't come here and insult me, threaten me, and say all these things just to get a deal. But hopefully you guys are having a great day. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm Lord of Lion, keep the blood pumping, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification, hit that notification button, baby. You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification.